Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show reviews. And today we'll be reviewing episode 4 of the new Beavis and Butt-Head series, coming to you from Paramount Plus. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Beavis and Butt-Head episode 4, entitled The New Enemy / The Doppelganger. First part in which Beavis and Butt-Head go to war with some raccoons who have been stealing their nachos. And the second part, the doppelganger, where Beavis comes across someone who looks uncannily like Butthead and perhaps makes a new friend. So, with all that said, what did I think about this episode? You know what? It actually was pretty good. It's probably the best episode of this season so far, with a few, I guess, a caveat or two. So we'll talk about the new enemy first. This is, I guess you could say, a classic Beavis and Butt-Head situation where they're waging war against beings that are much smarter than they are. In this case, the raccoons that snuck in and stole their nacho chips. And instead of just, getting a BB gun or something, instead they decide to set a trap with industrial glue. Taken, of course, from Tom Anderson's shed. And they forget about the crowbars or mallets or whatever, chainsaws. No, a big old, a wading pool of industrial glue. And of course, anyone who's seen any Beavis and Butt-Head know exactly where this is going because they're dumb and, they're bound to get caught in their own trap. But where this could be a one-note, sort of single joke thing that I don't really like about the Beavis and Butt-Head show lately, it turns into like a kind of a larger joke, not just about how dumb they are to get caught in their own trap, but how the trap gets worse and worse and involves, they do end up actually trapping the raccoons, but also they end up getting just completely, demolished by Tom Anderson because they look like some weird Hydra beast or something like that. And so, I mean, it's a fun situation, even if even from the start where they're climbing trees and all that other stuff, that it's not just a single one-note joke. And so I thought it was quite funny, and it just reminded me of the old school Beavis and Butt-Head. And for Doppelganger, this is another one. For some reason, they keep separating Beavis from Butt-Head. I'm guessing because maybe Beavis is the more interesting of the two of them. But in this case, Beavis thinks he sees Butt-Head, but instead it's a new guy to town who looks like Butt-Head, at least from superficially. And he ends up being this clingy, hanger-on guy that Beavis accidentally spends all day with. And it's it's odd for Beavis to be the one rejecting someone, but this dude's just like can't take a hint and all that other stuff. And every attempt by Beavis to just say screw off, I'm going to meet Butthead, is just completely pushed off until and he just takes all the wrong hints. But at the end, Beavis sort of, I guess, makes a friend, but of course, that means nothing because Butthead. It's just like, I'm not having any of that. It's fun to see this, kind of oblivious, sort of Chad that that just, just continues to kind of push himself on Beavis and just kind of ruins Beavis's idea of what he wanted to do for the day. I thought it was pretty good, pretty funny. I except that I don't really like Beavis without Butthead that much. So far, the weakest parts of this show have been like that. But this one wasn't all that bad. And I will also say that the riffing was much better in this. The stuff they riffed on in the middle of the, between the segments were actually quite good. The highlight of probably this whole episode was just the whole bit with, Beavis and Butt. And obviously Butthead's always talking crap about Beavis's mom, but the whole, his mom's a slut thing, and then turning it into a positive at the end, and Beavis just been like, well, thanks for the compliment. I found that whole bit funny, very funny. So, just overall, this is again my favorite episode so far of this season. it made me feel like I was watching an old school episode. Very funny in all the right ways. Didn't oversell any jokes or anything like that. And I thought it showed a lot of creativity in writing and understanding the concept. So I'm sticking with it. I gave it, it's one more episode. If they're doing well, I'm going to stick with this show to the end of the season. So very happy with this episode. And I guess the question is, what did you guys think about it? What do you guys think about the episode and what you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. All right, Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. We're going to review episode 5 of Beavis and Butt-Head. Until then, I've been Mo de Poupée, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.